Hi, and welcome to my home. Today I wanted to teach you about real-life applications for what we've been learning in math. Lately we've been working on adding and subtracting fractions, and I don't know if you know when you'd use that. So I wanted to teach you a time when you can use this in your everyday life. One way we use this all the time is in cooking. So I prepared my favorite chocolate chip recipe for you on this whiteboard. I have a lot of neighbor kids that like to come over for treats almost every single day, so oftentimes I'll double the recipe so that I have enough for everybody to have a couple cookies. So to figure out how much we need to make 2 batches of chocolate chip cookies, we'll have to add and subtract fractions. So the first thing we need to add or subtract is to double the recipe. Right here I have 1 cup of butter. Well, that's easy. To double it, 1 times 2 is 2 cups of butter. So I'm going to write in blue next to it how much it would be. 2 cups. Now our next one is sugar, and this is a real recipe that we're going to make in the next video, so come back for the next video. We need 3/4 cup sugar. Well, to double that, we would go 3/4 plus 3/4. Alright, well, our denominator moves over, so we keep 4, and 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay, but my numerator is bigger than my denominator. I'm not really sure in cups how much 6/4 of a cup is, so we need to simplify and reduce this fraction. So I know that 4/4 equals 1. So I'm going to subtract that from 6/4. So I know that equals 1, and I bring over my 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. Alright, so we're at 1 and 2/4. Well, that still doesn't look like it's as simplified as it should be, so I'm going to simplify it some more. So we have 1, and I know that 2 goes into 2 and 4. So 2 goes into 2 1 time, and 2 goes into 4 2 times. So I will need 1.5 cups of sugar. So I'll just put that in blue next to it. Alright, the same thing. I'm not going to redo that because we just did it. We need 3/4 cup brown sugar. So I just did the math, and again, I will need 1.5 cups of brown sugar. Well, if I need 2 eggs, 2 times 2 is 4 eggs. So I'll just put 4 right here. Now I need 1 teaspoon. Now we've also been learning milliliters. So 1 teaspoon, and I wrote it right here small next to it, is equivalent to 5 milliliters. So we've been working more with millimeters, so milliliters is the same thing, all right? So a milliliter, to give you an example of how small it is, there's 5 of them in a teaspoon. Now a teaspoon is a very small amount, but I wanted us to practice multiplying and adding those. So if I'm doing 1 teaspoon, that would be 2 teaspoons. If I double 5 milliliters, that would be 10 milliliters. But I'm going to keep with the teaspoon and just write 2. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, so I'll need 2 of those as well. 1/2 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar. Alright, so we've got to add some fractions again. If I have 1/2 a teaspoon plus 1/2 a teaspoon, what is that? So I bring my denominator over. When we're adding and subtracting, we keep the same denominator. Now I have 1 plus 1 equals 2. I have 2 halves. So if I have 2 parts of 2, if I have my cookie and I have both sides, I have 1. So now we're going to go to 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. That's a plumping agent, and that will make your cookies nice and fluffy. Alright, now we have 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and we know that 1 times 2 is 2 teaspoons. 3 cups of flour, so 3 times 2 equals how many cups of flour? 6, and it's the same for chocolate chips. Now I'll warn you that on this recipe, 6 cups of chocolate chips is a lot. I usually just use 1 full bag of chocolate chips per batch, so I would need 2 full bags of chocolate chips. But the person who created this recipe, she believed that there should be at least 2 chocolate chips in every bite. So if you like your chocolate chip cookies really chocolatey, stick with the 6 cups of chocolate chips. Okay, so we just used that math we've been learning in an everyday problem. Baking cookies. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I really like to bake. So I will use this math every day, and the neighborhood kids sure appreciate it. So I'm going to finish this video and log in for the next one so you can actually bake the cookies with me. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you tomorrow.